Honestly, choosing to live in California isn't really a choice. It's more of, okay, this is where you have to be during the off season. This is where you have to be during Supercross. The test tracks are an exit away from here, so it makes it convenient. If I need a test, if I need all that stuff, right? I moved to this specific area because it's not like directly in like the city, so I can feel a little bit more free. The neighbors are super cool and all that stuff, and it was cheaper than living, further up the freeway. So with that is cool. I don't have a lot of friends out here. My friend Cole Nichols lives with me when he's out here, and my girlfriend is out here. Other than that, pretty on my own. My trainer is a friend, a good friend of mine, Will Hahn, my mechanic Hutch. But other than that's like a small group of people, and they're all very busy. So for me in my free time, I don't do a whole lot. I make music, obviously. Most people by now know that. That's the main thing that I'm, passionate about on the side as like a hobby that I'm good at. Because when I was growing up, I skateboarded a lot and all that stuff. But nowadays, I'm honestly concerned with getting too cocky, too confident, too quick on a skateboard and hurting myself, and thinking back to the old days when I wasn't completely terrible. So I don't do a whole lot, man, just hanging out, making music, hanging out. I'm riding and training 95% of my time anyways, but I started taking up golf a little bit. I'm so trash as a golfer, I'm so trash. But I have some very fresh Doc exclusive golf shirts and hats, so I look good, but I'm terrible. Pretty much the entire 2016 and last half of 2015 have been pretty much a wash for me. Such a roller coaster, man. It's been such a roller coaster. There's been some mediocre highs. They haven't been like crazy highs or anything like that. There's been some pretty deep down there lows. So getting through this first season on a 450 has been super key for me. I'm healthy now after taking time off at the end of the season to fully recoup and get my body back to 100% so that I can come into 2017 and be a real threat for this thing, because anyone that knows me will say I really, really believe in myself. So without that, there's no way I could bounce back from all these things and come into all these seasons with 2 weeks on the bike and be competitive for championships. So I'm looking to come into next year, man. I got a good feeling about it because this last year has been, like I said, pretty rough. Started out Supercross with a broken foot. Hutch was having to start my bike for me. So if I was to stall it while riding, I would have just had to suck it up and do it, but it wouldn't have been fun. And then second round, I ended up bumping my head and taking a few weeks off for that, and then just kind of similar story all through it. And then outdoors starts, had the same situations with just little mistakes I was making that are, it's all on me. At the end of the day, I can't blame anyone because I'm the one riding, I'm the one that's putting myself in these situations. But a lot of it had to do with just being injured and just being so far behind the 8-ball here that I was trying to catch up. And when I'm trying to catch up, I'm taking a step forward, 2 steps back, and then made it rough to make any progress this last year. So that being said, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself, about the 450 class, the long season, my training, working with my trainer, with Ryan, and working with Dr. G and all these people, and my team, and my family and everybody. So I learned a lot. So it wasn't a complete wash because I feel like I'm mentally 100 times more prepared to come in next year and actually battle for a championship, which I feel like is what I'm capable of with the right situation and the right team. Back to that, I was lucky that Geico Honda, all the people over there like family, and there are some people that, one of the few groups of people in this industry that have believed in me to where I feel like they actually, believe that I can do it. So I got a ride for this first season. I got out there, I learned, battled through all these injuries, all the ups and downs, had some decent moments where I had some flashes of, showing my potential, somewhat. I feel like my ceiling is very far from where I'm at. So with that, it's going to take a lot of hard work this off season and really buckling down, staying healthy, being, on the right program, the right bike, all these things. But like I said, I think the biggest thing is I've learned a lot, and I feel like set myself up for success in the future from all the highs and lows. If not learning from it, then it's why do it. So, well, one of these days, once I'm where I believe I should be, into my career, we can have one of these conversations where we'll go back and discuss all the highs and lows and crazy things that I've been dealing with this last couple of years. But for now, for me, being in the right mindset is the biggest key to everything. Very major. I feel like there's a reason for it. Everything happens for a reason. I believe that more than anything. Everything happens for a reason. Everything bad, everything good. And it's all going to work out in the end, because it always does. So trying to keep the faith, man, stay prayed up and stay focused on what I have to focus on, which is being the best I can be, being the best on my dirt bike, being the best whatever. So mentally, that's the biggest thing, is just keeping my head right, because it can start to weigh on you, man. You feel like you got all this weight and pressure on your shoulders, and it's like starting to make you look like you're from, you're in this scenario looking like Quasimodo out there. Like, you just feel like it's just breaking your back. But I'm not going to lie and sit here and say that I've been fully awesome through it all and mentally on this wave where I've been super strong the whole time, because it's been a rough patch for me these last couple of years. I believe I can win and I believe I can be up there, but it's tough convincing people these things, and you don't get what you deserve, you get what you can negotiate for at that time. I haven't had the best hand dealt to negotiate with, so tried to make the most out of my situations, and I've had great people to help grab my hand and pull me back out of those valleys when you get down and start to question things. But I think that's the biggest thing with me is, like I said, is mentally, I'm never going to not believe in myself, because I know what I can do. So that always pulls me back out of it, is just finding my confidence. And man, that's the only thing, is without the people around me, with, my trainer Ryan, without Hutch, my mechanic, my family, calling my mom and dad all the time, like, what do I do? Without having Jimmy, my agent Jimmy, in my corner, convincing me it's all going to work out and be fine. Without having my girlfriend that's like, punch me in the face and be like, listen, you're kind of being a dumbass. Like, you're better than this. Without people like that, without my friends, without like having Colt here and BMC around, like, that's the biggest thing. If you're trying to do it on your own, like, it's going to be tough. So you got great people around to remind you either what you've done, what you can do, and who you are as a person. It's all going to work out. Therein lies the problem, because myself trying to convince everyone else I can do it, I can stand on the table and beat my chest and yell until I'm blue in the face, but until I go out there and do it, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the bottom line, right? It doesn't matter what I say I can do, what I've done in the past, what am I going to do right now, or what did I just do this weekend? So when I'm injured, and I'm not the type of person that's going to use that as an excuse or complain and say, oh man, this and that. Like, I've been hurt a lot. I don't complain about it, because it is what it is. There's no point to complain, because you're not going to get better if you're doing that. You're just going to make it worse on yourself, and then that doesn't look good for anybody involved. So for me, it's just keep running into that brick wall 100 times. Maybe that 101st time it's going to break. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough to mentally get in that spot, because people aren't believing in you and all these things. People don't think you can do it. People aren't giving you the chance to do it. If you're struggling to even get a job, where last year I was struggling to even get a bike to ride for free. I rode for free. It was hard to even get that. And I had won a championship the year before. Came back from a full labrum repair. Shout out to Dr. Ting. A full labrum repair on my shoulder. and rode for 2 weeks before I came into 2015, and I still battle for that title. So for me, it's tough dealing with all of these things. Like, come on, guys, you don't see it? Like, just wait until I'm healthy and like things are going good. But like I said, at the end of the day, I have no one to blame but myself, because I'm the one riding the bike. I'm the one that crashed or whatever happened. You know, sometimes things just happen, and it is what it is. It's the same thing when I had my back injury before 2014. The only reason I came back and won that championship is because mentally, I knew I had prepared before that. It was the cards I was dealt. Everything happens for a reason. Like I said, I believe in that more than anything in the world, besides that there is a good Lord above us. Everything happens for a reason. So I was like, well, use this bad stuff to either motivate myself or to learn or whatever, and it's all gonna work out. Convincing myself I can do it isn't the hard part. Being healthy to train and be ready for it is the hard part, and convince other people when you haven't done it recently. So, like I said, I believe self-belief and a passion, the natural reaction is success. So it all works out. It's just getting to that point, it's tough. But that's what makes it worth it, man. Because without the ups and downs and the highs and lows and punching holes in your wall because you're so frustrated that I might need a therapist for that. But without that stuff, whenever you get to that point, it doesn't mean as much. When I won that championship in 2014, I damn near sat in the car and cried because I was so excited and just thankful and happy that I'd, made it through all that. So to me, man, it sucks during it, but afterwards you look back and it's like, that was all worth it. And I'm glad it happened, because at the end of the day, you can look back on this later in your career and know that you worked for everything you got and nothing was easy. For some reason, God don't like making it easy on me. So, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to keep my head on straight and try to enjoy it and not get too jaded to everything with all the issues. It's still an incredible life and something that I get to do, and I have incredible people behind me, so it's all good. It's something that I feel like every human being has to learn that, or either you're brought up that way or whatever. I'm a big fan of Kanye West. I've watched a lot of his interviews, and every song is definitely on my iPod that he's ever made. So one of his quotes that I like is, some people are taught that they can't do things or they can't do anything, and some people are taught that they can do anything. I feel like my mother told me I could be anything or do anything, and I've kind of always acted like it's going to be difficult and it's going to be very, very tough to be great at anything. But every single human being on this earth can be great at something. Whether it's you being a video guy or whatever, you can be great at anything. So who's to say that just because someone else is doing it right now that I can't do it? I mean, that's not true. Like, we're all the same. We're all human beings. We're all from the same, we all are just humans, basically, is what I'm getting at here. So I feel like anyone can do anything if they put their mind to it. On top of that, I've proved it to myself already. So it's not hard to know now. But before I did, it was tough to learn that. Growing up, I wasn't the most confident racer. I would win everything locally, and then I'd go to amateur nationals and struggle. That taught me a lot, to where finally at the end of my amateur career, I started winning every time I was racing, because mentally I wasn't gonna be defeated, and then I knew I could do it. But I think that's the main thing, it's kind of why I'm okay with the ups and downs. I'm not okay with it, I'm not happy about it, but I'm cool with it because I know I'm gonna be better at the end of it. Where, like I said, growing up, I learned from just being so close, and then you finally break through that. Once you do that once, you know it's possible. So anything is possible, man. Coming into next year, at this point in time, I still don't have my deal locked in. There's things in the works, obviously, but nothing in writing in my hands. And the way things have gone before, I know not to get too excited and count my chickens before they hatch. So taking it day by day, getting back in the swing of things with training and stuff. Like I said, I took some time off after Southwick, kind of getting myself realigned. Been seeing Dr. G a lot, been seeing different doctors and just making sure I'm 100% and healthy so that I can come in and healthy, mentally ready, excited to do it. For once, being, ready would be a tremendous change to my program. So I have a great trainer. Like I said, I have a great agent. I have a great structure around me to do all the things that I want to do, which is I just want to be great at what I do. I feel like I work hard enough. I dedicate my life to this stuff, and I don't feel like wasting the talents that God gave me and that my family sacrificed so hard for. So I'm going to do whatever I can to be ready coming into this next year and really prove myself, which, like I said, it's not going to be easy by any means, but I can do it in the right circumstances. So just trying to build, man. Keep building and come into the season healthy and see what I can do. I'm not going to say I'm going to go destroy everyone and win, but I definitely believe I can be a front runner. So that's the goal.